Hey, I get it, you're scrolling through a sea of home gym gadgets and wondering if that vibrating plate is really worth the space on your floor and the few $100s you'd spend. A lot of people tell me they're curious about the buzz because they've seen influencers shaking on them, but they're also worried it'll end up as a decorative rug that just gathers dust. If you're sitting on the fence because you're not sure whether the AXV vibration plate will actually move the needle on your workouts, or if you're just looking for a fancy way to sit still, let's break it down together. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the whole idea behind a vibration plate is simple. You stand, sit, or do light exercises on a platform that shakes at varying frequencies, and the rapid muscle contractions are supposed to give you a bit of a cardio boost, improve circulation, and add a low-impact strength element. The AXV model markets itself as a full-body shaker that can help with weight loss, fat burning, and even rehab. That's a lot of promise for a single piece of equipment, so the natural question is, does it deliver enough for the price, and who actually benefits? If you're a busy professional who can only carve out 10 minutes between meetings, the AXV's remote control and preset programs can be a real time saver. You can set it to a gentle vibration while you answer emails, or crank it up to a more intense setting for a quick shakeout before a run. The remote sits on the side of the unit, so you don't have to keep reaching down to adjust frequency, something that felt clunky on older models I've tried. In practice, I found the transition from a low-intensity warm-up to a higher-intensity burst to be almost seamless, which is handy if you're trying to keep the session under 15 minutes. Now, let's talk about the actual feel of the platform. The plate is about the size of a yoga mat, so it fits nicely on a standard living room carpet or a gym floor without demanding a dedicated corner. The surface is textured enough that you don't slide off, even when the machine hits its highest amplitude. When I first tried the 30 Hz setting, my calves tingled in a way that felt similar to a brisk stair climb, but without the impact on the knees. That makes the AXV a decent option for folks recovering from minor joint issues who still want to stay active, something the manufacturer highlights under relief, rehabilitation, and repair. I've heard from friends with mild knee arthritis that the gentle vibration helped reduce stiffness after a few weeks of regular use. However, the platform isn't a substitute for a full workout. The muscle activation you get is comparable to doing a series of isometric holds, not the same as lifting weights or running. If you're hoping to replace a leg day at the gym with just standing on the plate, you'll be disappointed. The AXV can supplement a routine, but it won't build the same level of strength or endurance you'd get from conventional resistance training. So, if your primary goal is to bulk up or dramatically improve cardio capacity, you might be better off allocating that budget toward a set of dumbbells or a treadmill. One practical strength that shows up in real life is the quiet operation. Many vibration plates can sound like a mini engine humming in the background, which can be distracting in an apartment. The AXV runs at a low decibel level, quiet enough that you can have a conversation or listen to a podcast without raising your voice. That's a subtle but important factor for anyone sharing a space with roommates or a sleeping child. On the flip side, the biggest weakness I've noticed is the limited range of motion for certain exercises. Because the platform is flat and relatively narrow, you can't comfortably do large-range lunges or sidestep variations without stepping off. That forces you to keep the moves simple, mostly squats, calf raises, or static holds. If you're looking for a device that lets you perform a full spectrum of functional movements, you'll need something with a larger footplate or a wobble board design. Also, the machine doesn't have an integrated heart rate monitor, so you have to rely on external devices if you're tracking calories burned. That adds an extra step for data-driven users. Another point worth mentioning is durability. The unit feels solid. The metal frame and plastic housing seem robust enough for daily use, and the company backs it with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, which gives a bit of peace of mind. I haven't taken it apart, but the design suggests that if a motor ever failed, you could replace it without sending the whole thing back. Still, keep in mind that any moving part can wear over time, especially if you're using it at high intensities daily. A quick Google check shows that most owners report the unit lasting well over a year with regular use, but it's something to consider if